Hi, everyone, and welcome to Pinstripe People, a Yankees podcast sponsored by FanDuel on the Believe Network. I'm Sal Maiorana, and that is Mike Lindsley, and we are going to talk about another series win for the Yankees. I mean, there's nothing wrong, Mike, with winning series. It's just the way this team wins series can really drive you a little bit batty, and this Mariners three-game set was the very definition of that. You know, the first game, it took just one inning to get the job done. Wednesday was a eruption of 10 runs on 13 hits. Never saw that coming. And then Thursday, they fall right back into the trap of being completely inept. So again, as I said, you add it up, it's 2 wins out of 3 games. Keep doing that. You're in good shape. But man, this team, they're so frustrating that they make us pissed off even when they win a series, Mike.
Good morning, Sal. But here's the thing. Take a 3-game series and a 3-game series, crystal ball it, and say Judge, Bellinger, whoever else coming back. And if you got that roster and it's all full and bullpen is rested and your starters are lined up, the Rays to me are the only threat in the league, the big real threat. And so if you combine 6 games and you win a 7-game series in an ALCS in 6 games, you can win a 10-5er, lose a 2-1er, lose a 1-0er, win a 5-4er, win a 6-5er, and maybe win a 2-1er with Cam. I mean, maybe that's just kind of how it goes, because I saw your classic tweets of, man, with these offenses are not going to whatever in the series, and then whoosh, and I was like, oh, there it is again, baseball, Susan. But if you take those 6 games, you know, sometimes you can win like that because you're juggling different scores. That's one of the real weird things about the postseason. Sure, it's so different than the regular season, but much like the regular season, a lot of games are different. You score different. You win different. You win home and road. Things happen, quirks, weirdness, a bullpen game. There's just a million different ways. By the way, before I turn it back over to you, over the week, I've had this all of a sudden wow factor. I think the Tampa Bay Rays can win the World Series.
Oh, absolutely.
I think they can. Because I always used to think with the Rays, even like during some of these off years when they've made the World Series, right? When they lost to the Dodgers and they stupidly pulled Snell, or they lost in 2008 to the Phillies. But the other Rays years, right? The good teams, 95 wins, this and that and the other thing. They're good, but I don't think they're a World Series great. I think this team might be. I mean, they are so complete. Every year, every game, Aranda, I know it's Yanks, but 30 more seconds. Aranda, Diaz, every night, Caminero, all these guys every single night. Hicks is hitting like crazy from the trade deadline. They got the pitching, the starters, Rasmussen, these bullpen guys have overachieved. This week has been my first moment on the Rays that they could very well win the World Series. So I wanted to get that out there. Yep.
I wrote that in my newsletter, in my ballpark newsletter the other day in between Yankees series. And I said that the division's over. The Yankees can't even worry about catching the Rays. They're not going to catch them. It was for me too. It was like my wow moment. Like Monday night, that Rays game broke me. They're down 6-2 in the 8th inning.
Yes.
They score 8 runs. They win the game. Then they take the last 2 games of the series. They finish off a 9-0 road trip. By the way, a 9-0 road trip like Boston had a month ago that got their season completely turned around. So yeah, the Rays it's done with the Rays. The only thing the Yankees are playing for now is second place and getting that top wild card. So they're going to have the Red Sox in their building. It's almost a positive right now that it's going to be Boston, New York in that wild card round, right? The third worst division winner, which will probably be the Astros, it's looking like, are going to get the bottom wild card team. And it's going to be Boston or New York. If the Yankees have to go to Boston for that series, Mike, see ya. Our shows become once a week, maybe in the offseason, because they're not going to win in Fenway. They have to get that series in New York. So forget about the division. It's pretty much over. I mean, yeah, there could be a miracle, but you're absolutely right. The Rays are so damn good, so damn annoying. I don't understand how it can be that they can do what they do with the payroll they have, but they're just a really well-run organization.
They build a roster, they construct it. That's how.
They know how to build a team.
They fundamental. They mix analytics. They have starting pitching. They have guys who hit the contact. They're runners in scoring position. They put guys at the right position. They construct a roster. That's the answer.
Yep, exactly. And this guy, Cashman, has not done that for several years. We could talk about this before we even get into the games. They've got, as you just mentioned, with these guys allegedly coming back, who knows? Judge, Bellinger, Stanton, there's still been no real definition of when it's going to happen. But when it does, let's say by September 1st, all three of those guys are back.
Yep.
You're going to get 2 roster spots back because of the September rules.
Yeah.
But what do you do? What do you do with that other who goes down? Is it Spencer Jones? I would keep Spencer Jones up. What I would do most likely, I hate to say it, but to me, the most logical guy to get lopped off the roster is Paul Goldschmidt. I'm sorry. He is completely irrelevant now that they have Garcia. Rosario, you could say Rosario, but at least Rosario, you can move him, or he's not good anywhere.
He's versatile.
But he's versatile, and he can hit lefty pitching, which is supposed to be Goldschmidt's role.
Right.
I just don't. They will never do that because he's Paul Goldschmidt. But I would rather DFA Goldschmidt than send down Spencer Jones. I want to see more of Spencer Jones. What's your take on that?
I agree totally for 2 reasons. Number one, sometimes you hear with people like, oh, but it's a veteran presence. Here's the thing. Even with all the experience and being a veteran at his age, sometimes it doesn't matter if you have it, because in the playoffs, you're kind of toast, right?
Plus, they have that, Mike. They have that.
Right, they do. They have Bellinger, Judge,
Fried, and Cole. They don't need that from Goldschmidt.
Right, of course. And it's not Albert Pujols. It's not Poppy. It's not some of those guys. So the age thing for me it kind of overplays that. And also, number two, another big one for me would be just the fact that when you look at the roster overall, these young guys need the playoff reps. So Spencer Jones, even if they were to lose to Boston, which even getting the series in New York, I could still see they lose to Boston easily if they even get it in New York. If they go to Fenway, you might as well chop it away. If they're in New York, they have a fighting chance. That's basically what New York would mean. But even if they lose any games, any reps, using the analogy with the Buffalo Sabres, with Hellenis and Oslin, all those guys, Kulik coming up, of course, next year, but some of these other guys, it's the same thing with them. Zach Benson, they need the reps. So I would love to see Spencer Jones get some playoff swings. By the way, how lucky am I? I'm leaving Massachusetts today. I've had a great week. I'm just kidding. But also, those Peckerhead Red Sox have been on the road the whole time. So, this has been terrific.
Lucky for you, yeah. And they've lost until yesterday, 5 in a row. That was nice.
Thinking it up.
Nice little course correction. What you said was coming. You're right. Yeah. That always does happen. Of course, I hated the fact that it was the Blue Jays doing the winning over the Red Sox.
Got to take it,
though. You know what I was thinking today as I'm getting ready for the show? It was the Yankees who turned around the Red Sox season, right?
Yep.
Now, Toronto has already started to play maybe its best ball of the season. I think they've won 9 out of 14. They're right on the cusp of, after as bad as they were, they're right there in the wild card chase. Wouldn't it just be like the Jays in Toronto to sweep the Yankees and catapult them? I can almost sense that this is going to happen because it's the Jays and they see the Yankees in front of them and they become a different team, right?
Yeah.
They are the worst OPS team in Major League Baseball. They're second to last in runs scored. They've been terrible all year. And Vladdy Fatass is going to hit 3 home runs this weekend. He's only got 7 all year.
I know.
You could just see it coming. And I'm a negative, pessimistic person, so I can say that. You might be a little more upbeat than me, but I can just sense that this is going to be a bad weekend for them in Toronto.
A couple of those games with that 6-2 7th inning lead, and Hedrick's been great all year. Bednar's been great. Somehow Vlad comes up, hits a 3-run bomb. It's a 1-run game. Then you slog through. Then you get into fake baseball and lose for one of them. Then another one happens, and they hit 3 home runs, solo, 7, 8, 9, and win again on a Saturday, Sunday, or a Friday, Monday looper. I get it. Let's recap the M's. But yes, I could see that coming like that up in Toronto for sure.
So again, 3 games for the Yankees, 2, I should say. I'm sorry. 2 really good pitching performances. The first one by Ryan Weathers on Tuesday night. Weathers has been terrific, Mike. Here's another decision they're going to have to make. Rodon completed his last rehab last night. Apparently, he was really good. Of course, it was AA, so it's not going to read too much into that. But he's going to be back. He's probably going to be back for the next turn through the rotation. I think Ryan Weathers has cemented himself as the fifth guy, and Will Warren's going to go to the bullpen. Weathers was solid. He had 22 and 2/3 innings of consecutive scoreless innings before Maiorana, another Yankee killer. They sent him to Seattle. I was so damn happy because we wouldn't have to see him as much. But naturally, he comes back to them, and he killed them again. He had a home run the other night, so it's 1-0. And then, Mike, after 6 innings of complete misery with this team, all of a sudden something clicked in that 7th inning Tuesday night, and they score the 4 runs. I think they had, it was 5 hits and a walk to get those runs. Not a single homer in there, which was nice. It was actually a baseball rally, and that was enough to win the game because the Mariners are terrible on offense. So good for them, good win. Thank you, Ryan Weathers, for a fine performance.
100%. I think you would probably trust Weathers over Rodon right now if you had to make a choice to say who would you want in there. I heard some debates over New York City airwaves over the week about that topic. I also loved the way they came back. I love the comeback kid mentality. I love the fact that the young kids can do it and have the feeling to do it. Now the problem is you get down a bunch of times, you can't count on that. Like, oh, we're down. Oh, cool. We're in our comfy spot. You're not going to do it 9 out of 10 times. You might do it 4 or 5, but then of course that runs out. But good win that night. And again, it's the dog days of August. Stop me if you've heard this before out of my mouth. Every single win, chalk it up, put it in that win column, and you got to get them. You got to win them, and you take them. That's what you do this time of year.
Yep. That night, Grisham had McMahon had the first big hit, a 2-run opposite field single. That
weird hit, though, how this,
It was. They're not an opposite field hitting team. Oh, McMahon sort of is, but he had a nice hit there. And then the other guy was Grisham. Now I've been bitching and moaning about Grisham for most of the year. I will say he has started to hit the ball. The last week or so, he's been probably their best hitter, actually. Yeah. We'll get to the next game in a second, but he had a huge hit in this one, a 2-run single that made it 4-1, made it a comfortable rest of the night because the bullpen's been great. So that was nice. Wednesday's game, then Grisham was the star, right? He was 3 for 5, 2 homers, a double, 3 RBIs. He was fantastic, and they just erupted. Mike, it's hard to believe. This is a stat that I just wrote in my newsletter that somebody put out there. Would you believe in their last 49 games, this 10-run performance was only the 5th time that they've scored at least 5? I mean, think about that for a second. Think about the futility if of all the stats that we've rolled out for this team, that one to me was like a punch in the face. I realized that they're doing poorly. I didn't think it was 5 times in 49 games. I looked it up. The Nationals have scored 5 runs in 6 straight games, right? A good offensive. They've done it 6 straight games. They beat the Cubs yesterday with 7-0. This team on offense. So I don't know where this game came from. This was like one of those, the ultimate aberration outlier of a game, especially when we watched Thursday. I don't know what happened, but it was nice to see.
Can't we just say that it's the baseball thing? It's 1 of 162. It just happens. Those things.
You love leaning on that one. I know you love leaning on that.
But I lean on it. I lean on it because it's true. And also these guys, Sal, some of these guys are up there. Think about the scenarios. You have a couple of guys from the trade deadline, first time in pinstripes, right? They're trying to perform and do their thing. Sometimes the Yankee pressure can get to you. Other times, and it's excitement. I've interviewed guys. They've told me the first time they put on that uniform. Now, they were different players, but it's still the uniform. Richardson, Gossage, others, right? Whitey. Like, you put it on and they're like, whew, like it's the Yankees. I want to do something here. I want to, so there's that energy. Then there's the young guys doing it. And so when all these guys do it together and they're fun loving, they're jumping around, they're doing the thing and whatever this is, all these different things that they're doing, that's contagious. Hitting's contagious. And it seemed like that's what happened in that game.
Yeah. And they needed it because Warren was terrible. He gave up 2 home runs in the first inning, right? Maiorana again, 2-run shot, then Julio Rodriguez. Then they get a run back in the second, and then he gives up a homer to Canzone in the third. So I'm thinking at 4-1, this is problems because Seattle probably isn't going to score much more, but what the hell are the Yankees going to do? Bryce Miller is not their best pitcher, but, he's good enough. Well, They made me look silly. Spencer Jones. Now, here's Mike, this kid, he is another one of these guys where it is one opposite spectrum to the other with him. He's either really good or he's really bad. Thankfully, in this game, he was really good. He had a clutch at bat in the third inning. They're down 4-1. I think it was an 8-pitch at bat. He battled Miller, and he finally ripped that double off the wall and left for 2 runs that got him back into it. And then after that, they got behind 5-3. And then the 5th inning, Grisham had the homer, and Spencer Jones again with a big RBI double to tie it. So I was feeling pretty good at that point. And then in the 8th or the 7th inning, they kind of blew it open with a big inning. They scored 3 runs, 3 hits, big double by Ben Rice. Grisham had a double in there. So, yeah, I mean, that was, I don't know, again, I don't know where it came from, but it was nice to watch. I even wrote this, that for once, the Yankees actually played a game that was entertaining to watch. And that's what happens when you have offense. I'm all for a 1-0 tense, taut game as long as they win. But when you score 10 runs, that's fun. It's fun to watch teams be able to hit, right? 13 hits in this game, Mike. It's the most they've had since July 9th.
Yep.
July 9th is the last time they had a 13-hit game. It's just crazy. Just crazy to me.
Chicks dig the long ball, like the commercial used to say. Chicks dig offense. Chicks dig runs. And they apparently, Chicks, maybe they dig Oppo as well, because Spencer Jones went Oppo. And when he levels out, we've talked about this, when it's not the down and under it, and it's not the up and over it, and it's the just get so big. But when he just levels and loops is kind of what I would call. He says it the other way. I mean, you could just hear John Sterling like Jetarian from the left side instead of the right side. But the thing is, Spencer Jones, here's the thing. With prospects who are high on your list in your organization, 3 things happen. You either trade them, you keep them, and you have to wait at this stage with the roller coaster, right? You're going to get the ups and downs. You got to battle through that. Or you get the Dominguez situation where you held on way too long and he was overhyped and overrated, like we know already. Quickly on Will Warren. I don't make predictions anymore, but if you shove me against the wall and made me do one, I've said it before. I just don't think he's cut out from a sustainability standpoint. I would have moved him already, reaching the ceiling type of a thing, move him off at a trade deadline to get an offensive piece, but they hung on to him. You got to live with it.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit on the other side of that, Mike, because I thought after the bad 24 rookies, he wasn't good. He struggled as a rookie, but I thought last year he was a reliable guy. He took the ball every 5th day for them.
I know.
Never missed any time. And he wasn't he had last year, there were 3 awful outings. It was the Dodgers, Blue Jays, and I think the Red Sox. So 3 pretty good teams. And that ruined his ERA for the year. Otherwise, he was solid. And then this year, if you remember, Mike, the first 10 starts or so, he was fine. I mean, we were talking about who's it going to be, Weathers or Warren, when all these guys get back. I was firmly in the Warren category, staying in the rotation. But the last 10 or 12 starts, he really has struggled. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
they could have probably gotten something for Will Warren, because there's a team out there that will look at him and what I just said, and they would say, yeah, we could use this player. But they held on to him. You're right. And they've got a big decision to make here. They're not going to, it's going to be a 4-man rotation in the playoffs. So Weathers and Warren are both going to be in the bullpen anyway. But to get there, right now it's Weathers. Now, the only caveat to that is Will Warren has pitched a full season in the rotation, right? Ryan Weathers is about to blow past his all-time high for innings in a season. And that was in, I think, a minor league, major league combo. He has not even come close to this in a major league season. So that would be the only concern. Can he keep going in September and not wear out? Whereas I think Warren is probably built up a little bit better, but that could be total bullshit, Mike, on my part. Who knows? I don't know what's in the guy's arm, but I'm just saying the numbers would point to there could be a point here where Warren's going to wear out. So I don't know if you want to comment on that, but we'll see. We know one thing for sure. Rodon should be fresh when he comes back because he hasn't pitched all year.
Right. And you know how fresh he's going to be. We're going to see it with him sweating the entire time with his shirt open, 3 buttons. Again, the GM doesn't know the floor and ceiling. So that's my big thing. It always will be the big thing until he pulls off a Gene Michael kind of trade. I'm over this guy. Let's we got one more here with your favorite game of the series.
Yeah. Speak before you even get to that, the Ramos trade. Look, it's too early.
Oh.
It's way too early. But again, didn't we talk about this the day after the trade, or maybe the day of the trade deadline? Like, why did he make this move? What did they need this players for? And he's been, I think he's like 2 for 25. He's
a disaster.
Not a good fielder. I mean, why did they bring this guy up? or bring this guy over. And he could have called somebody up from the minor leagues and not traded Henry Lalonde, who was the prospect that went over there, 6'7" lefty, who, wouldn't it figure it? That kid will probably go on and be great. But Ramos has been a disaster. We can't wait to get Bellinger back
again. So that's my point. Could you not have gotten Hicks, the catcher, for a Warren Lalonde Rodriguez combo?
The only thing I'm thinking on Hicks, and I know it's dumb because the guy can really hit, but he's another lefty catcher. And I think Cashman would have gotten hammered for bringing another lefty catcher into this organization. So I can sort of understand that. Somebody else, though, Tyler Stevenson from the Reds was available. Or somebody. Jeffers was not available. Everyone talked about Jeffers, Ryan Jeffers, for 4 months. Well, the Twins were in it. Of course, now they're starting to fall out of it, which bad timing. They might have moved him, but they weren't going to get Jeffers because Minnesota had gotten back into it. So I understand why he didn't make a deal for Hicks if there was one to be made. But yeah, the guy's certainly a better hitter than Ali Sanchez, for Christ's sakes. I mean, Jesus. I mean, I'll give Wells this. Wells has been better. For the last 3 weeks or so, Wells is starting to look like the player we thought he could be. He's never going to get up. His stats are wiped out for the year because of the bad start, but he has been better, Mike. I'll give him that. I mean, would you agree? He's been a little bit better lately.
I would. He's gotten in deeper counts, and it seems like he's on more balls. I mean, even fouling, and I know maybe there's a little reach here. We're at that stage. But he gets some base hits, you're like, okay, but also the ones he misses. Those do matter a little bit in baseball, do they not? I mean, when you hear the broadcaster, oh, we just missed that one, or a color guy, ooh, and they know. I mean, there's more of those for Austin Wells. So maybe there's a couple of big hits in the postseason. Maybe he can do the Dawson Knox thing, right? He gets one huge catch in December, one huge catch in January, earns his $8 million a year. Maybe gets one of those.
They did sign Mitch Garver to a minor league contract. Right. So look, he's a righty hitting 35-year-old catcher. I expect nothing from him, but Mike, you got to admit, he'll be better than Ali Sanchez. I mean, get him up, get Sanchez off this team. He's a minor league player. Mitch Garver at least has a major league track record. He might come up and hit 150, but he's going to be better than Sanchez as a right-handed batter when Wells isn't playing. So do that and be done with it, because that's all you can do at this point. There's nobody left to turn to in their system who could come up and help at catcher. So, what are you going to do? All right, the last game.
I would take the Maiorana house dog at bat over Sanchez. Anyway,
useless.
Take it away.
Last game, Logan Gilbert. We knew this was going to be tough. The guy is really good. Plus, he's had a really good track record against the Yankees. He seems to mow them down. And he did. He pitched, I think it was 6 innings, blanked them. They had nothing
good
going.
Stuff, man.
He does. He's a good pitcher, so I knew this was going to be a tough one. I like the way Fried grinded. He was not great in this game. 5 hits, I think it was, 2 walks.
Right.
There was traffic, and he gave up he made the one mistake, and that's all it took was the home run that Weston Wilson hit. So a not bad performance, but Fried would have been good enough for most teams, right? Because somebody would have scored 2 runs in this game.
Yep.
Yankees didn't do it. The Mariners bullpen, the 9th inning, man, Munoz came in. He made them look silly. That was ugly to watch that 9th inning. They had no chance against him. So just a bad day. This game turned, Mike, I thought, on one play. And why does it seem like Trent Grisham is just in the middle of everything bad or good lately? They have a guy on, I think it was Sanchez, I think. I'm looking at the box score. Where was it? I think it was the 3rd inning. Bottom of the 3rd, yeah. So Sanchez got an opposite field single, so he's at first. Grisham rips one down in the corner. Should be a double for most people, right? Sanchez goes to 3rd. Grisham did eat the throw to second base, but he slid feet first, popped up, comes off the bag by, a millimeter. The guy has the ball on him. They review it. He's out, and that pretty much killed the rally. Ben Rice grounded out to end the inning. That was their one chance to do something. They would have had 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, and Ben Rice coming to the plate, and who was next? And Spencer Jones. So they would have had a chance there. Grisham. I mean, Mike, it's the major leagues. I don't know why these guys have so much trouble sliding and holding the bag. Why is it so hard?
The night before, Grisham barely scored and McMahon got nailed at second, correct?
He got nailed twice. McMahon got nailed twice in that game.
Yeah, but like the ball in right field on the McMahon play was already coming in and he's basically just rounded. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? This is
so slow.
This is Manfred baseball. This is the whole thing where guys don't. This is where long toss, coaching, fundamentals, taking ground balls, the base running stuff, that stuff matters, man. And so you see it all the time with Grisham. I will say, when he does, he's got that short swing though at the plate, and when he does hit balls into that right field up, and those are pretty. Those are pretty home runs. And he's got that short contact. He just sits there, he holds it like this, and then he gets rid of it. And then you see these boneheaded plays on the base pass. It's almost like a little chism in him, but it drives me crazy over and over again. The errors, mind-boggling. Now, second and third, one out. That's also a Yankee. Like, they probably wouldn't have scored anyway. But I would have loved to have found out only because Mr. Rice was up there. That's one of the 2-3 guys you trust. Well, do I go 3 or 2 or 1 that you trust right now in the order with Ben Rice? So in that spot, I would have loved to have trusted it. But again, you won the series against an average to below average team. You have that one clunker game because you have no offense. I still, believe it or not, take it and run. I just overall take it and run because you know you're going to get at least one of those games in a series. It happened in the last one, but they won the series. On and on, move on, and off we go again. Like, I got to see this team fully ready to roll. They need more offense. We know it. You just keep beating that dead horse. But like right now, for the here and now, with still 14,000 games left, we need to. If they win series and they're going to have one clunker offensive game, you're going to have it anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the expectation now. That is exactly what we expect from this team. And it's frustrating. I just wish they would get on a roll where the offense is just productive every single night and see what could happen. Maybe, hey, look, maybe that happens in October. I doubt it because you're playing better teams, better pitchers. It would be nice if it's all being held back until then, but we know how this team plays in October. Every year it's the same thing. The offense kills them every single October.
Here's what will happen. They'll get hot for like 6 games with this
group.
Group.
Shitter. Yeah.
Well, no, for like 6 games, and then guys will come back. Then the lineup will change again, and then they'll go back. Judge will go like 2 for 30.
Well, here's the other thing too, Mike. Everyone keeps pointing to, Judge and Bellinger and Stanton are coming back. What's the guarantee that any of these guys? There's no guarantee. Judge has been gone for 2.5 months. He's just going to come in and be great. I don't think so. Stanton, we know it'll take 2 weeks for Stanton to even figure out what a swing looks like when he comes back. And then Bellinger, actually, just before he got hurt, he was starting to hit a little bit better, but he went through like a month where he was completely awful. So fans who keep pointing to, when we get our guys back, it's going to be different. I don't buy that for a second. I need to see it first. I am not going to count on all of a sudden those guys are going to come back and everything's going to be great, because I don't think that's going to be the case.
I have one more thing to say before you close. It's 5 words on that point. October, period. Runners in scoring position.
Yep, that's right. That's right. And they were bad again the other day. They were good Wednesday night. It's frustrating, Mike. It's really frustrating. Nothing seems to change. I wish they were the Rays. I do. I wish they were the Rays. That's a fun team to watch. As much as I hate them, they're a fun team to watch. So, all right, Toronto coming up this weekend. Not looking forward to it. I hate games against the Rays, Jays, and Red Sox. I just hate them. I hate watching them. I'd rather watch them play the Mariners because I hate these teams so much, and I get so aggravated with every time they play and don't play well. But we got to live with it. They actually play them next weekend too. We got plenty of Jays in the next week or so. So take care of business. They are not a very good team this year. Go up there, win another series, and take it from there. Let's hope that happens, Mike. And they're going to get Dylan Cease on Sunday, so let's win the first 2 because the Sunday game is probably going to be a bit out of reach. Thoughts?
No doubt.
All right. We're going to wrap it up, folks. Thanks for being here. Again, please subscribe to the show. Follow Mike on Twitter. Follow me on whatever they call it, X and Twitter. Subscribe to my Pinstripe People newsletter. I really wish you would. If you're here and that means you're probably a Yankees fan, It's $5 a month, $50 a year. It's about as cheap as it gets for what I provide. So if you're here, you're watching, you're listening, in the show notes, there's a link. Give it a click, and I guarantee you're not going to be disappointed with what I provide for you 4 times a week in the newsletter. All right, Mike, have a good trip back from Evil Empire, Massachusetts, where you've resided for the last week. Get back to New York where you belong, and we'll talk after this Blue Jays series this weekend. Take care, everybody.